What time is it, Brains?
It's 4 o'clock. No, it isn't.
It's 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Right. Well, a big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I do hope you're well on this incredibly hot day. So we've got our biggest fan doing its thing. It's actually being a fan for the computer, just to try and keep things cool. Used to be into Massey Ferguson, you see, but
now he just fucking sucks.
Just sucks. Extractor fan joke. So it's great to see you guys. Oh, I see the clowns are in. Well, 2 of them at least. At least we got the one with the trombone. And Gandalf was spotted at the Gwilly Railway.
Yes, I saw it.
Picture. Yes.
I bet he arrived precisely when he meant to.
Oh, well, of course he did. So a big hello to A.D. Pullen, Harry Sedgwick, Bisbee Junction, Patrick Ling, Chehalis Valley Rail Productions, 156 Andrew Shortbread Express, Mike Lane, GT120, Richard Grudge, 3B Rail, Dave Scott Railways, Flymer Chairman, 1 Anthony, Richard Swiderski, Robert Becking, Marcus Muggins, Jordan Hunter, Hillside Junction, Frustrated Ape, says, woohoo, I remember the Monday Club was on. Excellent. Yaharic, Awesome Bricks, Warbler Productions, who's got his epic program. It's like, TARDIS discovered, enhanced 14 to 22. Beep, 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 beep. DJ Sarah Hall, happy Monday, everybody. Ho, twisting my melon, man. 37 Dave, new junctions in. Leslie Gilpin Railway says, is this a new hairdo for the new slimline Jenny? No, this is just, I've let my hair down. It just, because I did. Sometimes I do. Sometimes you'll see me with my hair down, but thank you for noticing that I've lost weight. Yeah, it's really, real struggle, but we're getting there. JGG Werewolf, hello to you. Lintry Town, Trains and Models, Linden, Iron Horse Railways, Retro Rambles. Gosh, we've got all the crew in. It's great to see you. I hope you are well. Now, first of all, we've got some news.
Stop the press!
Yes. It's like, no, every time you stop the press, it costs millions, because we then have to spend forever restarting it.
Good. Stop it, start it, and then stop it again.
So, New Junctions actually sent us a couple of pictures, and this is hot on the heels of excuse me, the Acura Scale announcement.
Hot on the heels of coughing our lungs up, we've got Jenny.
So somebody sprinkling dust in the back of my throat. Really is a bit grim. But, yes, so...
I am trying to find... Oh, for goodness sake. Right, this is the biggest problem with the world these days. What? Tech bros.
Tech bros. Tech bros need to be slapped really hard.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
You guys can't.
Yeah, and also I've probably gone really like...
yeah, this is why I despise it when you send me stuff on Facebook.
Oh, well, you should have said.
Because you make it so hard to do anything.
Right, well, if you press the button when it comes up... Hermitage Road says, hi everyone, stuck in hospital after operations. I'm sorry to hear. I hope you're getting better. Dude. Yeah, apparently I've got the staggers. That's thanks to the tech bros over at Meta, who have designed Facebook to be absolute garbage.
Yeah, because every single bit of what's going on in these stupid tech bro firms these days has to also feed into their AI so it can learn.
Yes, and it's probably some kind of app, because apps... Everybody loves apps. Apps are cool. We'll have an app for everything.
You see, apps were the last big thing. Now it's AI.
Do you remember when flash animations on websites was the big thing that killed the internet?
And I didn't use them either.
Anyway, New Junction is very keen to stress may contain aftermarket parts not included with the model. Don't sue me, please, Mattel. So forget about the face is a little fun extra that New Junction has found and got off the internet. So Mattel, it's not an official product. It's like we don't know. We're trying to track down the fan that did it, but we know nothing. But this is Wilbury at the Dean Forest Railways. There's a new version of this locomotive being announced today by Acura Scale. You can order that exclusively through the Acura Scale website with, there's a donation from every model, I believe, going towards the cosmetic restoration of this locomotive.
Nice.
It's currently out of ticket, but it was... I told you.
Iron Horse actually has it right. The face has seen some things over the years. It's got a 1,000-yard stare.
Yes, it has. So you can buy this model from a Curascale. That one on the right looks very unhappy. It's like, oh, this is
But the one on
copyright
the left is
infringement.
starting to think, ooh.
But the one on the right, actually, I think because there was the they did a livery sample version of the GWR which had the wrong green, but it looked just like Duck from Thomas the Tank Engine. So it's nice to see that somebody has thought, I know, we can repurpose that for this. Of course, it is the 80th anniversary of Thomas the Tank Engine first appearing in print, although the pedant amongst us would know that it's not until, I think it's, is it next Monday? Actually, no, I think it is today that the third book appeared. Thomas the Tank Engine doesn't appear in the first book.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 railway engines. It's about Gordon, Henry and James, I believe.
So, the guy who's the poster child for the Railway series isn't in the first thing. That's 2000 AD levels of pedantry.
Yes, it is rather.
Judge Dredd, not featuring in issue 1.
Yeah, when does he turn up?
Issue 2.
Yeah. Anthony says, how good was the new Thomas episode they found? Well, the thing about
I
that
haven't
is
seen
that
it.
I went and had a look because why not?
Of course it is.
And yeah, no, it's great fun. But they refilmed it when they were commissioned for the full series. Pretty much a scene-by-scene recreation. So it's a story that anybody who's familiar with the Ringo Starr narrated Thomas the Tank Engine, aka the good ones,
The only good ones.
yeah, exactly, will recognise the story, if not the imagery. So it's nice to see where it all began. Richard Gruder says, can't get the biscuits anymore. You've created a shortage again.
You told people how good they were and they went and bought them in their droves.
I haven't been able to get any. Because Bolton is apparently too garbage to have a Marks and Spencer's anymore.
Yeah,
Marks
we
and
can't,
Spencer's
we
in
can't
Bolton.
have a Marky Sparks.
Yeah, we can't go and get those biscuits. So anyway,
I love the faces. Ooh. No.
yeah.
Ooh.
No copyright infringement. So thank you so much to New Junction for sharing us those. They're not official with the faces. They come from a Curascale without the faces on, just so you know.
They're going to take the face off for you.
Yeah,
Don't
the
worry.
face will not come. You will have
the
to.
face
You'll
off.
have to track down some mysterious person on the internet. Warbler Production says, I can't afford those biscuits. Yeah. We can't find them. Malco Blue says, I've just ordered my J94. Excellent. So that's from a Curascale. And the Wilbert one is helping to raise funds for cosmetically restoring Wilbur. It's not an actual back in steam restoration. That's very expensive. Steam locomotives are very expensive.
New Junction says the crowdfunding for the pending court case will be going live soon.
Yes, yes.
So we've got some actual
thank you
information
so
here.
much for sending that. Yes. So this has come from a Curascale. I actually do have the press release. Embargoed until... Oh, hold on. Oh, no, we're after the embargo.
Well, yeah.
Right, anyway. This is a Curascale to raise funds to preserve a very special engine with exclusive model in 00. They've announced the launch of their latest exclusive charity model, which aims to raise funds to cosmetically restore Hunslet austerity locomotive Wilbert. Announced on the 80th. You've just moved it. You went and
Sorry.
yeah. Olé! Announced on the 80th anniversary since the first edition for the Railway series of children's books was published, the locomotive was famously named after the author, Reverend Wilbert Awdry, and is a character in a series of stories penned by his son, Christopher, in later years. Now, I have to say, I'm of an age where there was only the Reverend Awdry books available. I've never read the Christopher Awdry books. And yes, I know this is like a big oversight in my life, but...
Don't you have the complete set? I bought you the complete Thomas the Tank Engine.
Did you?
In a collected book.
Where? Where is it?
I don't know.
I
was
need
wondering whether it was on one of your shelves.
Would the higher? Has the TARDIS been spotted by the outhouse next to the loco shed? I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest with you.
Yes, it has.
But I suspect it has, because I didn't move that one.
Yes.
B2000 RO Toys channel. It's great to see you. Says, good evening, Jenny and Zoe. Lately, I've been looking to remake the Railway series stories from the first 2 books using models and toys of mine. Excellent. Brick Morley says, hi, Jenny. What's the beverage with the leverage this evening? Well, the brew that is true, the beverage with the leverage, is it's actually a pint of water with a wee dab of lime cordial just to take the edge off the tap water. Basically because it's so hot, we don't want to get dehydrated.
Yep. So we've had the usual newsletters through, and we also have got some Daypol special offers.
Yeah.
And O-Gauge Locos 40% off, which is not bad if you're looking for those.
Yeah, actually, O-Gauge locomotives starting at £149.50, I believe. But that's not what we have here.
No. Like I said, we've had our usual things. Hornby sends me stuff as well.
Yeah.
But there's not a huge amount I've got here in terms of news.
Rapido will be making a big announcement on Friday, and they've already trailed ahead that they're going to be announcing something new in 009. So really one to look out for. So like 009 is sort of like the new. It's, you know, I think TT120 came along and was the new and the hip and the with it scale. But 009 really is growing well as well. Now, I can't share you any of the information. What I will say is that anybody who's an 009 modeler, you medically need to be there on Friday when the announcement gets made. That's all I'll say. Because basically, there's a really great announcement from Rapido, but
are they finally bringing the micro Gronk out?
The micro no,
the lesser spotted narrow gauge.
No,
Gronk.
they're not. And I don't want to talk too much more because I do know what it is. And Andrew Hardy is probably sat there watching, going, don't you dare say anything. Don't you dare break this embargo.
Yeah, because he's going to come round and give you a right turn off.
He'll come round and he'll stamp on all my trains. So we're going to move over to Rolling VT. We'll be back after these messages.
Welcome to the Monday Club, your online model rail club for all the news, gossip, layout tours and more with your host, broadcaster and model maker, Jennifer Kirk.
The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering, or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey.
A big thank you to TMC, the Model Centre, for sponsoring tonight's festivities.
Absolutely.
Remember to check out their new and second-hand sites where they've been looking through an awful lot of stuff with experts to make sure that you get what you actually want, and check out their weathering service too, because it's damn good.
Absolutely. Mixed Trains. Good evening to you, Jenny and company from Mick and Will. Hope you're well. Yes, we are, but that implies some degree of lateness, and I can't prod Gandalf because my finger.
You can't give him the finger. Oh
yeah,
no!
I can't give him the finger because
Gandalf?
my finger fell off.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thank you. Oh, we've got. I mean, how does the fly get up here? We're in a loft with no windows or doors.
There's a big hole in the floor, Jen.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? So,
A really big hole in the floor. That's how we got in, and it followed.
Yeah, it's not a wasp, is it?
No, it's not a wasp.
It's like it annoys me. It can find the way in, but it can't find the way out.
Yeah. What are we doing tonight?
Tonight, right? Okay. So you might remember the N-Gage box file. Now we have kind of Joshua W56 says, and I somehow bypassed Gandalf's greeting.
No, you didn't. A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. So we're back on the N-Gage box file layout. I say we. This is Zoe's N-Gage box file layout.
I built the majority of it, but
I keep getting roped into doing stuff.
And the reason I'm doing this is because you've become somewhat
I've become
qualified.
I've become the guru.
And the ability to use this shaper sheet.
Yeah, so what we've got here is Woodland Scenic's shaper sheet.
And the best thing about this is, if you've got any left over, it will make a nifty tinfoil hat.
Oh yeah, and it's lined on the inside. So there we go.
To keep you warm.
Oh, it's gone very quiet, hasn't it?
Yes, the thoughts can't get to you.
I can't hear the man, so let's stick it to the man! So anyway, enough of the silliness. This is Woodland Scenic Shaper Sheet, and we're going to be cutting up some little bits, and we're going to be filling in some of the corners. Yes. I've also got some Shaper Sheet plaster. This stuff's really nice. It's like... it's going to set really quickly in this weather, so we're going to have to move quick.
I do have some questions, however.
Because is it about things?
No, it's this. Yeah. The shaper sheet has this surface on it. Yes. Is this just like foam or something like that?
It's like the best way of describing it. It's like a lint bandage.
Right.
So the whole idea of the shaper sheet is you've got the foil on the back, which you can bend this, and it'll hold that shape. And then the it's glued to this. It's almost like a lint, like a bandage. And when you apply the plaster, that soaks into that, then sets and makes a very, very strong layer because effectively it's got the fibres in it. And actually, at that point, the foil has done its job. It isn't actually necessary, but it does have the other advantages that your plaster won't drip through. So what I need
so that's
now,
what that is.
Yeah.
So I've got to go and get you some water.
We need water. We need something to mix up the plaster in, and I need some decent scissors.
Some scissors, water, and plaster.
Yes, we are. So
all right, I'll be back then.
Yeah. Well, if you'll be back, I'll be Handel then.
Okay. You be Mozart. I'll be back.
I'll be right, man and all. So the Cupboard Monkey's going to go and get the supplies.
Go back.
So, I hate flies.
Okay. You just get
Look at it. It's stupid fly.
Jan,
come on. Yeah?
Here's a mouse.
What am I going to do? Throw a mouse at it?
In case of stuff.
Come on now, where are you?
Oh my goodness, I can't leave you alone for a minute without you going weird.
No, it's like I'm being...
Can everyone else see this, or is it just you shouting at things that aren't there?
It's like I need the tinfoil hat.
Tinfoil hat.
We've got like a big fly. It's like... has it just gone down past you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Hang on, that means it's following me.
Yay! It must be the smell you create.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Right, anyway. One of the other things, I must apologise. Northeastern Railway models, NER models, very, very kindly, I've got a little letter and everything as well. They gave me a load of stuff when I saw them at Doncaster. And this has got caught up in a load of stuff when we brought back. And then we went on to, it was family things happened. And it's just got overlooked. And I feel really bad about that. So I'm just going to take this moment to go through some of the NER models items that they very, very kindly sent. So they've got a Facebook page, NER models. And these are 3D printed wagons, and these actually look really, really quite nice. So I'm not quite clear whether they come unassembled or partially assembled, but these have arrived sort of partially assembled. And what I really like about these is they're actually 3D printed in different colours. So we've got the basic wooden floor there, and then we've got the sides. This is a Northeastern Railway hopper. So all of the wagons are Northeastern Railway prototypes. And then in the box, we've got, they come with metal wheels, chemically blackened metal wheels. And then we've got couplings that fit into NEM pockets, buffers, all sorts of extra goodies in there to complete the kit. And I'm actually quite intrigued by these. I think these will make a nice little project to paint up. But some of the detail actually on the 3D printing really is quite nice. So I'm just looking through some of these. They're all Northeastern Railway prototypes. So hopefully we will maybe do a little project. Maybe next week I'll take one of these and do painting and finishing. Now there's some other really quite intriguing prototypes. So I suspect they don't come with the wheels attached, but they also come with brass bearing cups, so they should run really quite effectively. So what we got here, this is actually quite an interesting wagon. You can see there it's got like a mesh. So I don't know whether it's like a cattle wagon or maybe for bales of cotton or something, but really quite interesting. So I guess that this is how they come, and they just kind of glue together. In fact, I'm just seeing now. Ah, yeah. So the designs, you can only get them the correct way round. Some really interesting wagons.
So someone's
here.
designed it just to make sure that you can't screw up.
Oh yeah, I'll have a good try though. So yeah, the 3D model truck wagons do look good. It's NER models. Lintree Town Trains and Models. Lyndon says, Ryan, NER models. Hello. Ryan, NER models says, hi Jenny and Zoe. They come unassembled, semi-ready to run, so if you don't want to paint them, you don't have to. But a spray of varnish to protect from UV is always recommended. Yeah,
nice.
UV, I mean, UV is always the killer for any kind of plastics. Oh, it's great to see you in. You should have said something. I'm really sorry. Because you gave me all of these at the Doncaster show, and because of the family stuff that we've been through, lots of stuff have just been overlooked. So I'm really, really sorry. So we got this one's actually fully assembled here, and I'm actually looking forward to painting some of these. The Northeastern Railway hopper, I've got the perfect red colour to paint that up as like an NCB colour. I do like these wagons with the kind of arched ends, and I was talking a little bit about the couplings. So they come with, these are the same sort of couplings that you get as spares from Bachmann, and they're 3D printed, the pockets for them, and these, they're a nice snug fit. So there you have it. You've got like perfect couplings, which if you then want to use, say, KDs, you can take that out and then put your KDs into there. So there's a lot going on, and these are prototypes which we're probably in the main not likely to see ready to run anytime soon. So this is a really great way of getting a wide variety into your wagon fleet. So I don't know if somebody's able to post a Facebook link, and if there's a website. I know only moderators are able to put in links and stuff.
Where's the card that came with it?
Down here.
That's got the address in it.
Aha. So thank you.
www.nermodels.co.uk.
And that's all one word, is it? NER Models.
I'm about to do it, yeah.
So we're just going to put that into the chat. But Ryan at NER Models says, no worries, Jenny. I know you were busy and dealing with things. Hope you're both doing well, and thanks for the welcome all. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. And thank you so much for these. I'm just so really sorry. Oh, thank you so much. Simon Pitcher very, very kindly donated $9.99 on the Super Chat, saying painting figures up the shed hole watching for the Biscuit Fund. Ooh, Gandalf.
Thank you.
Oh, he's gone in a flash. He grabbed that money and he was away.
He's gone to get some halfling leaf.
Oh, right, okay.
He told me it was good for the puff.
Michael Sarsfield asks, can you do them as 009 wagons? I suppose if they're 3D printed, and I know sometimes people get a bit annoyed, it's like, it's not just a case of shrinking the file down. There's other things you need to do. But having ranges in N-gauge, TT120, all sorts would be pretty good. Hanning's Rest Model Railway says, I tried to order Wilbur from a Scale today, but my payment method wasn't accepted, so we'll just order something from somewhere else. So sorry to hear. Sometimes, yeah, if it's very, very busy, you can end up, it kind of becomes overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So all I'll say is just try again later.
Yeah.
So
if you want it, don't settle for something else. Actually try again.
Yeah, so we've got another one of these wagons here. And again, I think a quick coat of paint really will do these proud. But they're actually printed in roughly the colour that you'd want anyway. So if you don't feel up to actually painting, then they are good to go. And just looking in here, you get a little bag and there's all of the detail parts there. So there's some assembly with things like buffers and such like. I'm really
Am I mistaken, or does that actually have wood grain on the wood?
It probably does. Yes, it does. It does look like it does.
That would look incredible if you were to do a paint over and then perhaps do a wash over it to enhance the grain.
Well, things like a black dirt wash are brilliant for that kind of thing.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I use the Humbrol black wash. I think that's the same wagon. Is that the same wagon? But that's the same wagon, but fully assembled. So,
very nice.
And as you can see as well, the wheels come with brass bearing cups, so they're really free running, and they won't just wear through the sides. So again, they come printed in approximately the right colour, but obviously will be enhanced.
I am actually very impressed.
Yeah, so actually next week we should perhaps tackle some of these.
Yes,
but no,
we'll do a live painting. People seem to like it when we actually do the modelling bit in this modelling show.
But look, thank you so much, Ryan, at NER Models. So do check them out, and thank you so much for sending these over. And
that, again, that's... when we switch to Jenny full screen, the volume drops by about 20%.
Oh,
really? It shouldn't.
How strange.
Because it's set at 100. That's weird. Okay.
I don't know. Make me smaller then. The smaller I am, the louder I get.
Okay, I'm going to just grab something and make...
Are you messing about now?
Yes.
Right. Have you got some scissors?
Give me one moment. Give me one. I am trying to do something. Right. How's that? Is the volume better now?
Sounds fine to me, says RJ Models 86. DJ Sarah says sound is fine. I think I don't know what's going on. Yeah. So I suddenly got louder.
Does it sound
that's
better,
says Leslie Gilpin Railway.
Okay. Yeah, I just accidentally turned the microphone back on.
Right. Oh, thank you so much. Naive Gauge member for 20 months says, has anybody had success using a CMS clean machine?
Wouldn't even know what one of those is.
Is that one of those track cleaning wagons? I'm not quite sure what that is. Apparently it's now louder. Sounding fine here, Slammer Chairman 1. Very clear and sharp pictures as the Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout.
Excellent.
Right, so...
there is something that we need to talk about before we go into the next bit.
Uh-huh.
I believe on the 24th we are at Sawyer Models for a special day.
Yes, and that's a Saturday, isn't it?
Yes.
So, are we there all day, or is
10
it
10 till 4.
10 till 4 during the day?
Yes.
Right, so 10 till 4, we're at Sawyer Models in Lee, and we'll be having, it's a birthday bash. Not my birthday, but it's Sawyer Models' birthday.
So we'll sing the song at that time, at the appropriate time.
Because are we doing a live stream there?
I don't know if it's a live stream, but I am going to be walking people through their chance to have a go at Train Sim World VR New York. Drive a metro train around New York in a virtual reality.
Warbler Productions asks, where's the nearest mainline railway station to Sawyer Models?
There isn't one, is there?
There used to be one before Beeching, just behind the shop somewhere. But Lee is now, I believe, the largest town
that you can't get to by
that
train.
has no railway station.
You'd have to go to somewhere.
Nearest railway station would probably be somewhere like Atherton. But that's a bit of a way. It's not what you'd call really, really good public transport.
Yeah, they've really screwed the place over.
Warrington.
Yeah. So if you go to Warrington and maybe get the bus, it's a bit of a trek.
We will warn you. Getting there by train is not for the faint-hearted. But we'll be there, so it'll be a chance to meet us, hang out. There's apparently there's a buffet as well. So
well, there will be until Jen arrives, and then it's potentially there. Because she has been known to grab a few things, then run away while giggling.
Simon Train's Model Railway showcases, does Lee have a guided busway? Yes, it has a misguided busway. Putting the railway back in would have been nicer, but apparently you can ride the pretend train. Oh, that fly's come back. Blimmin' thing.
It's following you.
There's a really bad squeaking noise going.
Yeah, it's one of the wagons.
Yeah, it's on that train. So I'm going to stop that train because I don't like the squeak either.
Okay.
Right, Atherton Station 582 bus to Lee, says Malco.
There you go.
There we are. So it'll be a great day. Do come and check it out. Of course, it's a model shop, so you can do all your shopping. And of course, your Monday Club badge gets you a discount for all in-person sales. So what's not to like? Harp House Holt says, Jenny, if you turn all the lights off, the fly will fly out the lit exit.
Yeah, but then you guys won't be able to see us.
Yeah, there is that. Sarah Davis says, I noticed the squeak for weeks, thought it was my fan.
No.
Unfortunately, that's Gandalf's hamster wheel. We like to keep him amused.
Well, he's got to run off all those biscuits.
Yes. And of course, at Sawyer Models, Andy Fryer's Junction, if you're in there, we need those biscuits from Marks and Spencer's.
We'll see if we can get some.
Come on, chop.
Right, here's the thing then. Jen, we do have this model to do. I have brought you a wooden dish.
Oh, it's a paper dish.
Paper is a kind of wood.
It's that wooden dish?
A thin wooden dish made out of sheets of very small, thin wood.
Yeah, okay, well, meanwhile...
I've brought you some sharp steel
Yes,
doors.
Richard Grutas, there will be cake. Oh, it's like, I will find the most pathetic scissors I can find. Right.
You do realise we haven't got any sharp ones that are bigger?
Do you want to point that down?
No.
Well, then I'm not doing your layout. Why is it I always get roped into doing other people's layouts?
Because you know what you're doing and I want to learn.
That's it. I mean, I do know what I'm doing, but I am...
let's talk through what we're about to do. Yeah,
so here we are. What we're going to do is... this is the box file. At the moment, there's no terrain. You might remember when I did my 009... But I'm not going to get it down, so I'll just drop stuff everywhere. I did side scenery with plaster and stuff, and I used some shaper sheet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try and make a little bit just into this corner, a little bit back here, and you said you didn't want anything there. So
I'm thinking what I'll actually do here is paint the background on and then just have flat. So it's somewhere that people can park their cars, essentially. That's the idea.
So shaper sheet is it's reasonably easy to cut up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip, I think.
So this, you're just cutting it straight away with scissors?
Yeah, I've got a little pair of scissors.
They've got to be sharp scissors though, haven't they?
Yeah, and be advised that it will destroy scissors over time.
Because you're not just cutting tin foil, you're cutting plaster bandage and thick foil.
It's the tin foil that really is the thing. So what I'm doing, actually, I've got that just right, I think.
Right,
so,
we can't see.
I'm going to turn this round then,
Yeah.
so that, where was I? Over here. So you can see that's
There.
There, okay, right. So I'm just working out where I'm going to put stuff.
Hi, Martin Vegas. How you doing?
Oh, great to see you. Have they just arrived late, Gandalf?
I don't know if they have. But when I saw Martin, I thought, I've just been watching earlier on Angels with Dirty Faces. Really good film.
I've heard the name before, but never actually seen it.
Yeah, it's the basis for Angels with Filthy Souls from Home Alone.
Oh, right.
It's an interesting film. Very hard for me to listen to because, what's his name? James Cagney? He talks very quickly.
It's like, hey, what do you want? Hey, I'm James Cagney.
But I haven't finished it yet, so I can't give you a book report.
Yeah.
But I was watching it earlier. It was good.
So what I'm going to do here, actually, I've got the hot glue gun, and these are quite useful. I know we sometimes poo-poo these as making an unholy mess, but the honest truth is that actually a hot glue gun. There's mine there, cheapie from Hobbycraft.
Hobbycraft, yeah.
And all we're going to do is just try and stick that in. It'll take a little while to heat up. And where's my spare glue sticks?
The Roaring Twenties is a better one. I have that as well, but I haven't watched it yet either.
So I'm going to need you to keep an eye on the comments.
That's fine. So just as long as you talk us through what you're doing. And can I ask, is there a reason that this appears to be just vertical and then coming out?
Yeah, I'm firing that up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from about there, just eyeball it. I'm just going to cut across there.
There's a few people who've turned out to be late. So if I could give a call to Gandalf.
Gandalf?
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Absolutely, Gandalf.
Best thing in found to cut a shaper sheet is tough cutters that ambulance crews use. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Keep some of the little bits.
You could use these little bits that she's cutting off. Absolutely don't throw them away, because you never know when you need a tiny piece of shaper sheet.
Yeah. And sometimes you just need to kind of manipulate this stuff around just a little bit. So, I reckon that we're probably going to just cut a little bit off there.
So there's an awful lot of moulding and remoulding and to get the perfect shape. This isn't a simple case of slap it on and that's done.
Well, the thing about this is, smaller areas like this are conversely actually a lot harder to do.
I suppose
if you're doing a big area, I would say that this is a lot easier process. So we're kind of doing this on hard mode. And I'm just going to manipulate this. Are you kind of happy then if that's going to be there?
I don't really care what the shape is, because the basic idea is that we're going to have something to hold for those retaining walls to retain, you know?
Yeah, and that's always quite important. It was the thing that was always said about Hornby 00 type layouts when I was a kid. Was why would a train in an otherwise completely flat landscape make a beeline for the only hill for miles around?
Because you have to have a tunnel.
Just to burrow right through it.
Because you have to have a tunnel. It's a train.
Yes.
So these are interesting as well, what we're seeing here. The Growler Brackwood N-gauge layout says shaper sheet is roughly £17 for 9 inches by 72 inches. That's not bad at all. Given what it is.
A little goes a long way. And the way I view it is it's part of your model making arsenal.
Yes.
You don't have to make all your layout out of this. Plaster bandage is probably the cheapest stuff available. My personal preference...
I don't know about that. Laurie's Mechanical Marvels managed to make papier-mâché out of stuff they found in a bin.
And it wasn't very good for the purpose. It really, just like people, $5.99 for a big roll of I think it's the Gauge Master plaster bandage. On that TMC model build thing, we used one roll for our entire thing.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
So what I've got now is the hot glue gun. Now I'm kind of happy.
You're going to shoot in some hot glue. Look at this, hot glue on glue action.
Yeah, and do be careful because this stuff will burn your fingers.
Well, yeah, they're not kidding when they say hot.
Yeah, and
Awesome Brick says J-cloth rules. Yes.
Yes.
I believe PVA J-cloth Alan will agree to that.
Yeah, I mean J-cloth is an alternative with PVA, really cheap and great. But if you're on a if you want something that's incredibly load bearing, for example, then
That's pop back up.
What?
The bit that you've just done is pop back off.
Oh, okay. If you want something that's incredibly strong, so for example, an exhibition layout, you don't want too much flex in things, then actually, I personally find that you can use PVA and J-cloth, but a hard outer layer of plaster is not too bad.
Now we've got an interesting question here from Durfee. Why not fold the edges down, then glue those to the back seam?
How do you mean?
Instead of cutting off those edges that you cut off, why not fold those round, glue those, stick that to the back seam?
I find that the problem is because that's not got plaster on it, it still remains flexible.
Right.
So
you end up with it kind of wobbling. Potentially.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah. The only disadvantage of hot glue is the wispy threads. You can cut those.
Yeah.
That's something that I'll do later on. We're going to trim it all, make it nice and all of that. I can do these bits after Jen's finished with her expertise.
And what I'm actually doing now, this is another little thing that hot glue guns are really good at.
Are you filling in the gaps?
I'm filling in the gaps.
That's a really good idea.
When I do the plaster, it's going to go over where the hot glue is, and there's no hole for it to disappear down. So again, in this corner, I'm actually going to use a little bit of hot glue, and I'm literally going to seal the edges.
Sealed with some glue.
So, and then I'm actually going to use, let's be bold, and like this tiny little bit here, I'm going to use that somehow. Have we got a smaller bit? No, we haven't.
It's the smallest bit.
So I'm actually going to
glue that in so that you've got a little bit of a kind of edge.
No, there's a hole.
So you got a.
There's a big hole.
You've now got an edge that goes up to what would essentially be the walkway on top of that bridge.
Kind of.
That's cool.
I'm going to do a little bit more hot glue.
You could use some scrunched newspaper soaked in PVA between formers, then layers of PVA soaked newspaper on top of it all. That's set solid. Yeah, there's all kinds of
One of
methods.
the things I will warn though, using newspaper and PVA, it needs to dry very quickly or you will get black mould.
You don't want black mould.
You've got to be careful about that. Right, so I'm quite happy with...
Especially...
oh, look at that. I was happy.
You were happy, so you stuck your fingers into some glue.
Yeah.
Is that how you celebrate being happy?
Yeah, something like that.
Amazing.
So, I'm just going to...
Richard Twiderski, it's not a stupid question at all. Don't worry about it. Can you paint onto the hot glue?
You can do, but what's going to happen now is there'll be plaster over the top.
Yeah.
And I'll talk you through this. I'm just looking at the time. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
We might. I don't think we can do videos simply because of the temperature as much as anything.
No, we'll try videos, but why don't we just do one side rather than both?
It's once you get going, I might as well do both.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like, let's not mess about.
If you do get black mold, you could become a billionaire with your own yacht.
What?
Sarah Davis, I think I know who you're talking about.
Black mold?
Yeah, in that stupid castle that we bought.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just...
Yes, that one.
Yeah, I must admit, I just flushed a Rowling.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not fans, can you tell?
No, of that derivative knockoff of Enid Blyton.
I know Poundland Enid Blyton was terrible.
Yeah, right. What
so
did I just put? Oh, there's the
you
scissors.
threw them on the floor while talking about Rowlings.
So, I'm just trying to kind of get this right. What you'll find is if you're doing little bits like this, then it is a little bit wasteful on the shaper sheet. You'll end up with lots of little bits. But actually, I have heroically, let's just see how...
Raymond, I love that. If you put 30 influencers on the yacht sinks.
Right, so I've just got a little bit of shaper sheet. Quite often, see, something this small, this is where your little offcuts would end up.
Yeah, the little tiny bits for stuffs.
Yeah, for stuffs.
The advantage of using scrunched up newspaper dipped in PVA is that land form is fairly malleable while wet. You can easily squeeze it and shape it at the form you want. Messy, however. Well, this is still reasonably easy to move and stuff, because we haven't got to the bit that solidifies it yet, have we?
No. And I'm using the scissors behind it just to pull it up to where I want it. I'm just going to squidge that.
You've done an incredible job already with it, because it,
it
now looks
flatter me.
It now looks like what I wanted. We've got a bit of landscaping.
Let's just get a couple of squirts underneath there. And yeah, don't be afraid to. You get a little bit of time to manipulate the glue. Unfortunately, the little strings are really annoying. There's not really much you can do about that. And I'm going to use a small piece here. I'm actually going to put a little bit of hot glue on there, a little bit of hot glue on there, and glue them together.
Why not?
Ow, that's hot. It's not like, it's not so hot as to be like, oh, I smell barbecue. But there we go.
Yeah, we're not at soldering iron levels of hotness, but it's still, it's going to give you a bit of a burn.
Yeah, you don't want to touch the end if you
put a shadow figure of a ghost in the building. The ghost of a brewery.
Yeah.
I do have some people that will be going on it.
So, I'm just going to move that back. There we go. Ow. When it first comes out of the gun, it is actually really quite hot. I think we're done with the gun now, so I'm going to unplug it. These don't have an on-off switch, so just be careful until that cools back down, is what I will say. Don't put it on anything flammable or
like
meltable.
the carpet.
Oh, that'll be all right down there.
She's put it on the carpet and then said, don't put it on anything flammable, like the carpet.
Yeah, whatever. Right, okay. So I don't have a bin. This is really most annoying.
You weren't supposed to be throwing these bits away anyway. We're going to use them for the project, aren't we?
Are you? Well, you'll have to take them because I don't want them here in my my abode. Right, we're going to start mixing up the plaster. Now, what I will say on this is the moment water goes into the plaster, you are on the clock.
Yes.
Essentially, there's like no chit chat, no messing about. Somebody did say if you add a little bit of white vinegar, it slows down the cure time. But I want to stick with what I know at the moment. So this is Shaper Sheet Plaster, again from Woodland Scenics, and they sell this in like big cardboard things. It's not. A little goes a long way. And what I will say to you is, when you don't make too much. You can always make it in batches. Do a little bit, make another batch, do a little bit. Don't try and be a hero and do your entire layout at one sitting, because what you will end up with is not much done and
a big solid lump in a bowl.
big solid brick of this stuff. So I'm going to just do. Oops. I think that's probably more than enough. And
I agree.
I could do with like a clothes peg. You bummer. Yeah. You just need.
We don't have any clothes pegs.
I'm actually gonna
do your stapler.
I've just had a thought. I might.
Are you gonna hot glue it?
Yeah, actually, that's probably not a bad shout. Hot glue gun, the bag shut. Seriously, plaster in its powder form is a real nuisance. Oh, because it goes everywhere and
it sticks to everything.
It's like weathering powder. Alright, pro tip for you. If you get a little bit of weathering powder on your clothes, don't try and rub it off because you'll just make a bigger patch of weathering powder.
And be careful
on
about
your clothes.
water as well for it.
Yeah, because you can just turn it into paint. So, this is not entirely orthodox, but I am resealing because it's going to be a while before I actually use this again. I'm going to... there we are. Nice.
Noisy, noisy.
Yeah.
Actually, that's worked really well.
It
a
has.
resealed bag.
Yeah. So are you keeping an eye on...
I am.
Yeah.
People are currently talking about going in pubs as kids because it's time to get plastered.
RG Models 86s, I usually add more water to slow down the curing process. And to some extent, you can do that, but what I will warn you is that even watery plaster will go off. And it takes no prisoners. And I'm just looking to see... in the tray underneath, there's like a tray with loads of modelling supplies hidden down at the bottom. There should be some wooden stirrers down
You
there.
love having a tray with supplies at the ready, don't you?
Yeah, something like that.
So
At the moment, we're not on the clock. That's fine. That'll stay powdery for probably a couple of days, although it will absorb moisture from the atmosphere, which is another good reason to hot glue gun the bag shut. So somewhere in there, are there some like wooden stirrers? Yes, perfect. So Monday Club have very kindly sent a huge amount. These are emery boards. These aren't stirrers, these are emery boards.
Okay.
There should be plain wooden stirrers. You might have to dig deep. Or maybe they ended up somewhere else, I don't know.
Okay. Why don't you use the end of the brush?
Yes, I will. So, what I'm going to do is... but I also need to be able to spoon it out. Let me have a little think whilst Zoe reads comments and stuff. I'm
trying to put everything back in this box now, Deb.
Oh, right. No, I think I've got... This is not a sanctioned tool for this, but I'm going to use a little modelling saw. We just have to chip the stuff off afterwards. So, what I'm going to do...
Use the end of a brush.
I am for mixing, but when I come to put it on your layout, I need some kind of spatula on.
Okay. I can't help there.
Yeah, well, that's what this is for.
Okay.
Right. So, no. We're not putting stuff all over my own coupler. Here we are.
Right.
So.
Lolly sticks come in very handy, don't you?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was looking for, but...
We had some, but they don't seem to be here.
And it's very easy to put too much water in, as I will now demonstrate. Oh no, I've put like... Oh. So, basically...
it's all sticky.
Yeah. Basically, I've screwed up, and there's actually not very much water in there. It's very deceptive because you may not end up needing as much water as you think. So I'm actually going to tip a load of that water out, and now I'm going to start mixing up. I've gone very watery for reasons.
Don't let it get too moist. Be wary of spillage, says Iron Horse.
Yes, Iron Horse, the purveyor of the dirty word emporiums.
So, are you continuing to stir this for a while because you've made it watery, or because you're making sure that
I'm making sure we haven't got any hard lumps in here.
I just have to ask because we can't really see it an awful lot. You can get a coffee frother to mix that up, but they're not very powerful.
Coffee frother? What?
Oh, I wouldn't go that.
Yeah, just remember you've got to clean your stuff afterwards.
I wouldn't go.
Actually, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Right. So we're now on the clock. Is what I'll say. Yeah. It's your own model it's destroying if it goes wrong.
I know.
So
I'm worried.
we've
I ain't
got.
going to blame you.
Actually, that consistency's not too bad.
Consistency of wet slop.
I like a very, very thick cream, I guess. So if you could you do the special on that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm using the wrong tool for the job to spoon some of this in. And what? Oh no, come back you. So you don't actually need a huge amount, funnily enough. So I'm at a really awkward. It's a what?
It's not. This is not Breaking Bad, Martin.
One other thing you'll find is that the plaster bandage on the shaper sheet will actually.
Naive Gauge. This has got to be the most risky thing you could have done.
What have they
says,
done?
went to Ethiopia on holiday last summer. The staple carbohydrate there is a grain called teff. He brought 20 kilograms of this white teff flour back in his luggage.
Oh right, how did that go down? Can you clean that off?
That is
for me?
incredibly risky.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I've got an old brush here somewhere, and that's pretty much spent. So I'm gonna use this brush. Oh, perfect. That's perfect. And I'm just going to manipulate the plaster, and it's actually drying out, or appears to dry out when it's on the actual shaper sheet, because it kind of soaks
in. Yeah.
And if you're going over existing plaster, you will also find that existing plaster, even when set, kind of sucks the moisture from it.
Hello to everyone who's just arrived, and goodbye to everyone who's heading off. Thank you so much for joining us.
Who's
a couple of people have had to head off.
Oh,
But
no.
thank you so much for joining us. It's been great to have you here. Hope you have a great evening. And to those of you who have just arrived, Gandalf.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Now, I've had to turn it around. I know that you guys can't really see very well now, but this is simply because I need to see what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'll miss big
Iron
bits.
Horse. That is terrible.
What's he done?
She's got a face like a plasterer's bucket. That's terrible.
Oh!
So-
No, it's like face like a plasterer's radio, I think it is.
Yes, but let's just say, yeah, no, because we're not that messy.
Yeah. And I'm just going to put a little bit of plaster down at the bottom. We've got loads of plaster. I mean, made far too much. So, it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes as well, one of the things I like to do is you have like your primary work area, and then you have a secondary work area where if you have too much material, you can then go, well, actually, I'll do a bit of work there.
Yeah.
To use up the material. And sometimes I even have a tertiary work area. And the reason for that is that it's really difficult to judge the amount of plaster. Seriously, I mean, you either get way too much or way too little. And
I managed to get one of your hairs was in your plaster.
Is it right? No, are you sure? No, I think it's the. Can you grab that? I don't think it's my hair. I think it's from the.
It's hot glue. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Stringy bit of hot glue. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
They will pull
Ew.
out, and the beauty, because they're hot glue, when they go hard, they are quite strong.
Yeah.
So
Iron Horse says, "Can you save some plaster for later?" No, it will just solidify.
once the water's in it, you're on the clock. It's no ifs, no buts. This stuff goes off, and it takes no prisoners. Eventually, it's really weird because you'll be working away, and then suddenly, this stuff in the bowl, it's like it starts to cling to itself, and it goes from being usable to being
Solid.
really, like it goes grainy.
So, Krista Duke is asking a very important question. Did we put the track down first?
Oh yeah,
Because their nephew is going to be starting with a box file layout.
the track was the first thing that kind of went in along with the buildings. we've done bits on these over.
I would have to find all of the sections and make a video.
I
out of it.
did
it's a good idea.
Yeah, I did a video series on my box file because I was actually very efficient, and
Yes, you were.
And I did mine very, very quickly. Now, I know it's not necessarily the easiest for you to see, but I need to be able to personally see.
Oh, we can see that. That's fine. This angle is fine.
Okay.
Coming in. There we go.
I'm just.
So now we've got something that looks very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
And it certainly gives a reason for those.
Yeah, and
those retaining walls to be there.
And that's kind of important, really.
Yeah.
Kind of
Otherwise,
important.
it just looks weird. Like, what are they retaining? Nothing.
Yeah. And I'm just trying to get some of the thicker stuff from the edge because
Simon Train says he enjoyed Tom Marshall's video celebration of the 80th anniversary of the Railway series.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know he'd done a specific
Yes, he did.
video.
Yes, he did.
That's pretty cool.
And of course, because it's the 80th anniversary, that sounds like a birthday, doesn't it?
Happy birthday to you. Squashed tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
Right. I'm gonna just go. I mean, I've made far
I
too
need
much.
to do one thing.
Yeah, at this stage, this just a little bit of wipage needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna wipe it up.
And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just build up some of this landform over.
Coloured sawdust scatter material, says Rex. Yes, but we're not in the 60s, so we're trying something different.
There's another stage which I will do relatively quickly, and this is something that I learnt from Les.
Oh, Les Cliff, the absolute
The
master.
guru of scenery.
The absolute master.
He's the man you want on your team on the Great Model Railway Challenge because he knows all the moves.
Captain Les knows all the moves.
Captain Les. Do.
Take care, GJK 666. Thanks for coming along, dude. Have a great night.
What I'm going to do is I'm extending the landform by putting a bit more plaster down at the bottom.
All right.
Because the reason for this is I'm going to paint it up, and I'm just going to do a little bit around there.
Is Les not Lobia still in the chat? Last time...
He comes and goes. I think he normally gets engrossed in his model railway, and then he forgets that the Monday Club's on. Has he commented?
He hasn't.
Tonight? So anyway, you need to keep going on the comments.
Richard Gruder says, my local model shop has an end-of-line sale. They're selling buffer stops.
Right, so I'm done. There's really no other use for this plaster. Which
Well, we could put a bit in there if you wanted to, but you don't have to.
I'm
You
not
don't
going
have to. You don't have to. Okay. We're getting the clubbers on. Been there, done that. Yeah, we've all forgot. I mean,
Yeah.
Jen, you've forgotten to be on the Monday Club sometimes.
Have I?
Yeah, there was a couple of times when I've done it myself. Hey!
Woohoo! Right, so one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to actually tip that out.
Yeah.
There we
Right,
go.
do I need to dispose of this now?
That's for disposal.
Disposal?
But what I would suggest is, just chuck the rubbish in. It'll just set as one big brick.
Well, yeah, it's all going to go.
Just don't knock it. It'll go hard, and we can dump it.
Hey!
Is that a 540 motor I can see behind Jenny? A 540? 540. That's in a Volvo 540. No, I haven't got any Volvos. 540.
Could be anywhere.
I don't know. So what we're going to do now is...
Don't point down. I wasn't intending
Oh,
to.
no. Never ever...
To your left, under the wood. Your left.
My left, under the wood. 540.
No, that... Oh, I know what that is. The little motor, the blue thing, under the...
Oh, that's the turntable motor. When the turntable, you just see it there in the background. When the turntable was first built, I had it motorised. The problem was that the motor has quite an ampage draw, so I had to use effectively a car battery, and I didn't want a car battery up there. So I disconnected the motor, and I put a hand crank into the mechanism. I changed some of the gearing as well.
You love to twist it by
but
hand.
The motor has never actually been removed, and it just sits there disconnected.
So, some of this looks like it's starting to set already.
Oh yeah. It was quite watery, and actually, whoever said it was that like make it a bit more watery, you get longer to work with it. To some extent, it is like that. So I need to wait until it's kind of gone hard enough that trying to paint on it isn't going to just make a porridge of paint and stuff.
Rob says those trains must do some miles in the background. They do, don't they?
Yeah, don't pour it down the sink.
Do you have scissors?
Yeah, somewhere.
They're on the floor. Thank you.
You got a hanging nail?
No. Remember when I fell in the bath and embedded the old stuff in my hand and caused a massive cut? Yes. Well, part of the skin, the dead skin on that is sticking up, and I keep catching it on things.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to cut that off.
So I'm just going to. We might as well. Let's. Oh, we have gone back to the layout.
Yes.
Good. So we're just going to wait whilst the plaster sets a bit. It's actually taking longer than I thought. Now this is embarrassing. I honestly thought that it was going to set so quick that I'd have to really hurry up.
Well, normally you would, but you put a lot more water in than you
I did
thought.
put a lot more water in. So top tip, learnt by accident, a little bit of extra water goes a long way to just stop it from setting.
Have a scalpel.
Hook the motor onto a manual speed controller. Yeah, I do. It's over here. I have a manual speed controller. And it's actually forwards and reverse and an off position. But sorry, what did you want?
Scalpel.
Scalpel? Well, it's like Dr. Kildare in here.
I'll take a craft knife.
Well,
For those of you wondering,
there's a box.
I'm just trying to cut a little bit off here.
Yeah.
This is not recommended. I wouldn't say it's a good idea, but...
Well, then don't talk about it, because nobody can see you unless you show them. Right. Gwion. What has Gwion done? Was he the one who poured the plaster down the... Oh,
don't pour plaster down the sink, guys.
Oh, we're seeing him next month, actually. It's easily done. Can I just say, it's one of those things, and you think, I'll sluice loads of water down. It doesn't make any difference. So
I'm not saying that I did it, but I did once make the roof of the physics department in my school explode while I was in the chemistry department, which happened to be above.
What did you put down the sink?
They didn't tell me that it reacted violently with water when I poured it down the sink.
What was it? Sodium or potassium?
I can't remember offhand, but it was...
I remember at school we had sodium and potassium, but they didn't have any of the more reactive metals, but they showed us a video, and rubidium was somewhat explosive.
Yes, it is.
And I don't think they did cesium, because cesium's like you might as well just set off a C4.
Yeah, just open a bottle in a mildly humid room.
Right. The plaster's going off.
We'll get after it.
Yeah. It is still
I would leave it a little bit.
It's
a very humid day.
There is that. We do have the ex-tractor fan going on. He used to like Massey Ferguson, but now he's moved on and just sucks. I remember in chemistry we had those really bad ammonium experiments that stunk the room out. Oh yeah, the rotten eggs. I wouldn't have... I do know how to make nitroglycerine SHGP media. We did in A-level chemistry. We did learn how to nitrate various things. So nitroglycerine, you would.
It was actually on the syllabus. One of the things, yeah.
Well,
Hi GCHQ, how are you doing?
Well, no, it's a very, very important process because it's a process by which a lot of other useful chemicals are made.
Yeah, benzene rings and all that.
Marcus Muggins says the BR Blue Class 20 on the layout reminds me of the full-size one I enjoyed some rides behind at the Swanage Diesel Gala on the weekend.
Oh, that feels about much better.
I was lucky enough to cab ride a Class 20 on the Great Central Railway Northern. There's a really, it's like filmed on a potato, but I filmed the full line on a BlackBerry phone. That's how old.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
that was barely better than just taking loads of photos and sticking it together.
Yeah, Warbler Productions. The problem with Francium is that it has no long stable isotope.
Yep.
So you would have to manufacture it in a some kind of collider, and it would cost more than the most expensive metal known to man.
Yep. And you wouldn't have long to use it.
No, I think the half-life is something like 17 minutes. Which
time
presumably
in
means
terms.
as well, it's not the greatest of substances to be hanging around.
No.
Yeah, polonium T. No, I think they.
We are definitely getting watched by GCHQ.
Yeah, hello GCHQ. It's great to have you on. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more interesting topics about ways that Putin likes to finish off his political rivals. If you don't accidentally on purpose fall out of a window, then here's some nice glow-in-the-dark tea.
Trains.
Yes. Do you remember when BlackBerry phones were the medium of choice for organising the English? Well, I didn't do rights, but yeah, I remember when BlackBerry phones were like the big deal. Are you trying to footsie me?
No, I just need to put my foot out so I can cool down from the thing that's next to you.
This is most peculiar. The person
humid day.
The person who said add extra water, it gives you longer working time.
You
were absolutely right. You know what? That is most peculiar. For block drains, you'd normally use caustic soda. Yeah. Don't put just anything down your drains. You probably cause more problems than you solve. Right.
Marcus Muggins, you're absolutely right. Nitro 9 was favoured by Ace.
Yes. What on earth was Nitro 9?
Well,
it was.
It's a highly unstable explosive that was created for Doctor Who.
Yes. Ormsthorpe and Brackenbury says add beer to Plaster for long working time. Why would you waste beer? Simon Train's Mother Over Showcase says just hire the Gronk Mafia. They can gronk it up and take care of it in seconds.
Gronk it up! Gronk it up! Gronk it up!
Hashtag not a cult for legal and tax purposes. Flymo Chairman 1, is that based on experience? I'm not going to read it out, but yes. Hairdryer on it, I don't recommend it. Right. One of the things you've got to remember is this is a chemical reaction.
Yes.
It's not drying in the conventional sense. There's a chemical.
It's like cement.
I believe it's gypsum sulfate. And when you add water to gypsum sulfate, the water actually bonds with it to create a solid form. So you basically have hydrated gypsum sulfate, which is a rock hard solid. And so it's not drying in the conventional sense. And if you put a hairdryer on it, you can actually boil the water out, and you then find that the reaction doesn't progress properly.
Yep.
A guy on site I was working on, says Stephen Cameron, says was badly burned by caustic soda.
Oh yeah,
you've got to be careful.
Caustic stuff is bad.
It's like cement and concrete. It's quite caustic because it contains calcium oxide in it.
So don't drink it.
And one of the favourites was you get a splash of it down your Wellington boots or whatever, and it would burn your skin.
Right. So while this is going, why don't we have some videos?
We could do. RG Models 86 is the curing process generates heat. So I'm just going to check again. We're getting there. We're nearly at a point where I can do the paint layer. So we're going to see if we can do a few videos, and then we'll come back to this.
That sounds like xenomorph blood.
Yes.
Calcium hemihydrate. That's it. Yes.
Little Britain says it's calcium hemihydrate. Right. Okay. Fair. Magnesium.
Whoa.
Oh, what?
Are we completely out of sync? We were for a second.
I don't know. Calcium hemihydrate. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I always thought magnesium. Oh, magnesium sulfate is gypsum salts, isn't it? Michael Sarsfield says add vinegar with bleach and sit. No, I wouldn't.
No.
DJK666 says I'm back and I've got 9% battery. You need to find a power socket.
Yes.
There's a lot of people reminiscing about school chemistry lessons.
Your 7th grade teacher built a cannon. My goodness.
I remember chemistry teachers setting off explosives with things like mixing oxygen and hydrogen and then using a spark plug. They'd fill a container with oxygen and hydrogen on a 1 to 2 part ratio, and they'd have a spark plug screwed into the neck. They'd then put it out in the playing fields, trail the wires off, and then tap it to a battery, causing the spark, and the whole thing would just go bang and just eviscerate itself. But no, anyway, we don't. This is not Jolly Roger's cookbook, so but do give it a like. Don't forget to share to social media. We are notionally doing some more work on Zoe's box file layout.
Yeah, but not right now.
But sadly, due to a little bit too much water.
Talking about
just
cannons.
waiting for.
Just reminds me of when my physics teacher decided to demonstrate the difference between the speed of light and the speed of sound by firing a gun from one side of the school while we watched it.
Yeah, but it would have been a starting pistol firing blanks.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. For Americans watching, you may find it hard to believe, but Britain doesn't really do guns.
Back then, it was still legal to have handguns.
Not just to flash him around and set him off whenever you felt like it. Right.
I didn't say he could do it.
Right.
I said he did it. It didn't say it was legal.
I'm sure he would have been using a blank firing starter pistol.
Chaps stole a load of Coca-Cola and coffee from my local co-op. I don't know how they sleep at night.
RG Models 86, you were bang on the money, you know.
Yeah.
I think we're actually. Are we going to? We'll show a video and then I'll start the painting.
So
one thing I would say though is if you add extra water, yes, it slows down curing time, but you do get a progressively weaker mix. So there is a trade-off.
So what we got here is a message from Erwin Gunnerman, who says, here's a video that Andrew Johnson and I made together. It's the Hornby Railway Collectors Association of South Africa.
Oh, lovely.
So this should be rather interesting. If I just press this button.
Hit the lever.
Kick the buttock.
Sniff the lever. Sniffy.
So it's a few minutes long. Fun day hosted by the Hornby Railway.
I recognise a repainted. That was a city class. That's Triang. That's a Triang Britannia. So there's Triang as well as Hornby Doubler, but there's a lot of childhood memories in here.
Yeah, I bet.
There we are. Hornby 008F we just saw, but that's the Triang Britannia. That's a Hornby 8-Cho one, and that's an N2, and that's actually there's some nice stuff in there. So is that was that Ludlow Castle? That's a rare one, is Ludlow Castle, if it was. I've just bought my dad a Cardiff Castle, actually.
The only childhood memory of trains that I have is after my paternal grandfather died, my dad tried to get me into model trains because he'd left a couple of things, and it was a black steam locomotive, and it just wasn't for me.
Michael Sarsfield says the drama department were banned from using explosions after doing an Italian job on the fire escape door. You're only supposed to blow the doors off.
Yeah, there's always the incident, isn't there?
Yes, that is talked about for many years afterwards. Spelio Kier says, I'm a caver and used to have a carbide light, a bit of carbide and some water in a 2-litre fizzy drinks bottle. Makes an excellent rocket.
I do
can
like
imagine.
these.
And that's Hornby 8-Cho. Now that is actually really rare. That locomotive was the starter set loco that they produced right at the very end. Now that looks to be a triangle model.
That looks like to be the one
that's an 8F.
That looks like the one that my dad tried to get me into.
Can I just say as well that footbridge has been extended, and very good job they've done of it as well.
That little one, I like the look of that. That's
I used
cool.
to have one of those French locos.
Remember those locomotives we were looking at Ellis Clark over the weekend?
Which ones?
Was it? We couldn't tell whether it was French or Prussian, but they looked amazing.
Yes, like 1900 stuff.
Yeah, guys, if you're into European stuff, have a look at Ellis Clark right now. They've got some amazing stuff.
Harry Sedgwick says it was number 5002 Ludlow Castle, so it was the super rare one. Gosh, this really does take me back. And actually using the Hornby 00 track, that is hardcore, because those points were notoriously difficult to wire. They're actually Electrofrog points, but they very quickly changed to simplex points, they called them, which are effectively an Insulfrog point, because people found their track system so unfathomable. But there's some really great stuff there. But I used to have one of those HO Bobos. There's a couple of Duchess of Athol's there. That's a Dorchester or a Barnstable. And again, back with the Britannia. Mandenstein Railway says, what a wonderful selection of trains you've got on Weir Yard this evening. And to remind everyone, the Hoddesdon Model and Railway Club has a special R200 event for the May exhibition.
Nice.
Excellent.
So, Ormsthorpe and Brackenbury says they think I'm referring to Micrometa kit models. They're incredible. I'm going to look them up while Jen does some painting.
Outdoors.
Oh, the Pullmans, they're lovely.
Yeah. But it's quite a long video.
It's like 5 minutes.
Egg Rider
so
says, hee, loving you saying Ludlow Castle is super rare, as if I turn around, mine is on a shelf behind me. It's the rare one. Hornby 00 did 4 Castle class locomotives. Bristol Castle was the 3-rail one that initially appeared. That's very, very common. Ditto for Denbigh Castle, which was the 2-rail
Thank you so much for sending that in. That was amazing.
Now, Cardiff
Thank
Castle is relatively straightforward to get, but is much harder to find than a Bristol Castle or a Denbigh Castle. And Ludlow Castle was the 3-rail Ringfield motored Castle class loco, and they were always like gold dust back in the day. Malco Blue says, just been given some Hornby 00 2-rail points.
They suggested Ellis Clark with it.
Yeah, these.
That's it.
Yeah, we found them.
Okay.
I've just seen the price tag. Woohoo! I don't think they had price tags on them in the shop.
If you had to ask, you couldn't afford it.
Yeah. Oh, but it's.
I'm going to put a link to one of them. This is the one. This is legitimately the one that I fell in love with.
Yeah. So go and have a browse at. We're getting the Circle of Doom apparently.
Yeah, because I was loading up some websites.
Right. So can we go back to this? I'm ready to do some painting now.
Yes, we can.
And I've just realised. Actually, no. I'll use one of these. That's fine.
So I put a link into the chat for the Micrometa kit locomotive that I fell in love with, and wow,
it's £1,500. Please do not think, I'll just buy that. Don't add it to your basket and not look at the price because you'll be like, how much?
Yeah,
my first 2 cars put together didn't cost that much.
No.
But right, so we've got these are the trusty 3 different colours.
Oh, you do love these ones.
Yeah, these are like the little tester pots that come from Woodland Scenes. You can buy proper big squeezy bottles of them, but these are what you get with the starter kit, so I'm actually going to use them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully open these up without exploding.
So I'm going to jump to the close-up camera once more,
and then I'm also just put those carefully there. Pass me the water, would you? Because what we're going to be doing is like a watercolour. So I'm going to add a little bit of water into one of my plastic water things.
By the way, these are not
filthy.
Black. They're
It's
just
paint.
reused.
I reuse them over and over again.
Because why not?
Yeah. So I'm getting a bit of water, and we're going to go
David
in.
Newby says, look nice, shim the Art TT scale. Yeah, they're HO.
And then what I'm going to do is, this is like a watercolour. So you don't just paint on neat. You
We can't see.
Oh, can you not?
Turn slightly.
You
Yeah.
turn it to
There we
right.
go.
And what we're doing is just putting a wash over the top. And what you'll find,
Raymond Legs says it's diarrhea green that you're using.
this is actually like a dark ochre colour.
Yeah, it's definitely ochre.
And this is an important step because you don't want any of the white to show through.
Absolutely not.
So I'm just making sure I get it right up to the edges, and use a bit of water. It's a water-based paint, and this is a really great way of getting your rock effects. Now, a lot of people have asked me how I did the rock effects on the Monad Tattoos build. Now, there is a video coming out on, is it Friday?
It will be on Friday, yes.
Right.
Are those
Or was
kids
it
type
last
paints?
week?
Oh, the rock one was last week. Not last week, because that was the...
Week before last, we
products.
did it, the Monad Tattoos build.
Yeah.
Make sure you get that watched. I noticed a lot of people haven't watched it.
YouTube has been doing some funny things lately.
Yeah. So
There's a channel I watch called Esoterica, and he was saying he'd spent hours on a video and making sure it was perfect because it was really important for him, and YouTube hadn't even shared it.
yeah. So the chances are you've not been made aware of my video. So do make sure that you go and watch it. Not right now, obviously. Right. What I've done
Looks
here,
like chip shop curry. It does have that
does
kind
a
of
bit,
look,
yeah.
yes.
and then I'm going to dip into the brown. And
then, while
whilst
it's still wet, just mix them in.
Yeah. And you're just kind of, you're not trying to get a uniform colour, you're blending. And I think the magic will probably happen when I get the black. And just, mix and match here. There's a bit of experimentation. And I'm going over I'm not even waiting for the plaster to be fully dry. You can do this with the plaster still not fully cured.
So we've got a question from Raymond Legs saying, anyone ever had Scheiber Bogen cardstock kits? It's not what I'm familiar with.
Oh, that's not the South African ones, is it? I can't remember
couldn't
what
tell you.
brand they were. Remember, you built the blockhouse.
I don't think it was Scheiber Bogen. Could be, but it's not ringing a bell. That was a good blockhouse kit,
Yeah,
actually.
you
I enjoyed making that.
And actually, it was like every day's a school day. We learnt a lot.
Yes.
These were things I didn't actually know about.
I'm actually considering reusing it on some of my war games. Scheiber Bogen is German. I thought it sounded German.
Yeah. So there we are. We're getting these different colours. And one of the things I will say now, because we've used a lot of water, we've got a very smooth and dense finish.
That's fine.
It's not soaking it in as well as if you did it.
So we should have waited.
No. I think it's just because we put too much water in.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of this. It's like I always say, your Bob Ross moment. Happy little accidents. We make it work. So there we go.
It looks messy, it looks gunky, it looks industrial. Like it's been in an area where they've kind of used whatever was around.
Yeah, but we're going to put grass and stuff over
Exactly.
this.
But what I'm saying is that it's the kind of dirt that would be around that kind of industrial estate.
So there we are. And at this stage now,
We just got to put it aside and let it dry.
put it aside, let it dry. So I've done your landform for you.
Thank you.
And anywhere, if you get paint that goes where you're like, oh, I didn't want paint there, then a bit of water on your brush.
And because it's water based, you can just brush it off until it starts to dry.
Yeah, and you can actually effectively colour wash some of the paint over your card kit.
Blend it all in.
Yeah. So there we go. Perfect.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Jen. That's
I've speeded you along.
That's
so there
a
you
lovely
go.
little explanation. Thank you.
Oh, Rubster's Trains and Travel says, I hope the stream's been going well whilst I've been away for most of it.
Well, welcome back.
Welcome back, Gandalf.
The Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. So there you have it. So it's not the most exciting of stuff. You've seen me do it in real time. We've kind of done a lot of shooting the breeze and such like. But there we have it. We've added into the box file these little like land areas. And what we'll do is the next step is static grass on those.
Yeah.
And I've got it's called the Progress Detailer, and it's got a very
It's the small one, isn't
a
it?
really small one. And the reason I'm going to use that is simply because of the lack of space. It's a small area, and we don't want grass getting everywhere. So
I think it's been very engaging.
yes, something like that. So there we go. I'm going to put this out of the way,
So they can dry.
and that'll just sit up there and dry.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'm going to
Don't drink that.
No, I'm going to tip that into there.
Into the bowl of slop.
It's horrible, isn't it? It doesn't
The
really.
bowl of slop.
Hello, Mark Wilson. How you doing?
Mark Wilson, Waxer of the DeLorean. It's great to see you. Hope you are well. We have missed you, Gandalf.
A time traveller is never late to the wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right, I'm gonna get rid of the
Thank you,
paywall.
Flymer Chairman 1, for the links there. Really much appreciated.
Absolutely, we really do rely on the mods doing that. So thank you so much.
RG Models 86 says he also has the Progress Detail and it's a very handy bit of kit. Yes.
Yes, and I know some people say, "Oh, I know it's very expensive." It's if you're doing small scale stuff, I would say the Progress Detailer is actually the one you should probably go for from Warworld Scenics. If you're doing big areas, then the regular one actually is really, really good. But tiny areas like that, you'll otherwise find you'll static grass everything. Now you can protect your track using masking tape. It's ridiculously cheap. You just put the masking tape down. It's a good idea to anyway, and it just means that you're not then struggling with static grass in your ballast. Now, don't forget everybody, hit that like button, share the stream, and do check out, if you haven't got your Monday Club badge yet, then do pick that up and start enjoying the... What?
Richard Gruter says the problem with static grass is you can't move it. That is... Oh my goodness. That was certainly something.
I think we've got a tumble of clowns in there, very
I
quiet.
love
there.
a tumble of clunes.
A tumble of Martin Clunes.
A tumble of clunes. I don't know why I've gone for a weird accent.
That tumble of clowns sound a bit weird, don't they?
They've taken over a train now, haven't they? So we got a message from... Who have we got here? Colin Burnacle at Going to the Dogs, who says, sorry to hear about your news, Zoe. When you're ready to join Jenny once again in the Monday Club, I've attached a short video I've created on the Hornby Class 50, Sir Edward Elgar.
This was from the 29th of March, so it kind of gives you an idea of how far behind we are.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
The Temu tumble of clowns. Yeah, you don't want anything from Temu. They're just like crummy knockoffs.
Yeah, I'm always wary of sites like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank you so much for the kind words there, Colin. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm just sorry it's taken this long to start showing some of your videos. Yeah, things apparently the circle of doom is.
Unfortunately, it will happen a little bit, but let's see how we get on. Yeah, we seem to be okay. I'm waving in front of the camera. It's coming straight up is when I do it.
That's right. We're back.
So if you could press the button, if you could hit the lever.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry,
Thank you.
You should have said.
Oh my! I did say.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Here
Hit
we go.
the lever.
The Hornby Class 50, yeah, 007 to every
Yeah.
The 007 should have been Sir James of Bond.
No. It was the one that they painted for the
joke,
GWR celebration.
It's a joke, Joe.
But
So this is really nice. I love the little units that are behind that guy. Who looks...
What, you mean the relay cabinets?
Who looks so real. Look at the shadows on him.
Yeah, it's good lighting. I like the Budlier as well on the back of the little line side hub.
That's incredible model work, that.
Yeah, we visited this layout a few times. Always enjoyable. I like your S&T brake van there. I think that was a model rail special edition. It's the one I don't have. I need to at some point track one down, I guess. Although I've got that many brake vans that it's not a high priority. But I remember this model being out. Very eye-catching one because it's such a different livery. I love your Budlier. I'm curious as to
well done.
Is it like a knock kit or something, or is the Budlier something you've made yourself? I like your loads as well in your S&T wagons. The ZDV, the Satlink liveried one there. That's turned out nice, and you can see what the black wash does for highlighting the planking.
The name's Gresley. Sir Nigel Gresley.
That's
Thunderbirds.
Yeah, okay.
That's the one you're wanting.
Oh, okay. It's nice that the clown knows the tune. The only live stream with a clown on trombone and his clown horn as well.
Yes, attempting the James Bond tune.
This is a really nice layout.
You're getting one of your 92s numbered and decaled, then weathered. 92007 Sean Connery. Oh, that's lovely.
Oh dear.
That's actually really cool. I like that.
Hammer Shackleton says, sounds like a chicken singing the theme.
I do like...
Thank you so much for
saying that. And that was lovely.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely. John Walter says, hiya both and all. It's great to see you. I hope you're well. Don't forget to tickle that like button. And Gandalf!
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And spell it okay? Spell it okay? I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. It says, does it stop at Sir Roger Moore Street? Where's that clown when you need him?
So, I forgot what I was going to say now. It's kind of been important.
No, we didn't get a copyright strike.
No.
Not that we're aware of.
We'd need to be closer to the actual thing.
Yeah, to be honest, with that rendition, if we
there
got
was a lot of reverb.
Yeah, if we got a copyright strike, I'd take it as a miracle. Mark Wilson says, I live 20 minutes away from Nigel Gresley's birthplace. Just saying. Ooh.
So, while Mark was out, actually, he sent us some images from his time travel escapades. So, we've got Paddington Hydraulics today. If you could press the button.
Oh, I always love the photographs that Mark brings back in his DeLorean. And
here we go.
The weathering is so subtle and effective. The lighting is great. I love these shots. I
love the fogged out or misted back scene as well. So that
really
it feels
good.
like
Absolutely.
It feels like England.
Xantec says, yes, I'm laughing so hard. I do love the hydraulics. Warship class, really, really nice. I am interested to see how the Hellion models look when they come through. I've only got one Western, and it's an old 8-pin chassis Hellion one, which is getting a bit long in the tooth now. So
this is amazing detail. I love the weathering. I love the way that
it's the attention to detail. It goes above, beyond, and even further. The quality of the modelling is just
This must
absolutely
have taken you
sublime.
so long. Like, Mark, this must have taken you, like, years, surely.
Welcome, Claude Hamilton. Great to see you. Hope you're well.
Welcome to the show.
Gandalf.
The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons. Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And like, look at that. The
That looks like
weathering.
real brick.
Absolutely, but the weathering on that locomotive.
Yeah.
You see how subtly it is done.
The subtlety is what's selling it.
And the wheels, if you look at the wheel faces, they've got that very, very matte, like dirty, rusty colour. And it's just perfect.
Mark says it only
Absolutely
took him
perfect.
6 months.
Yeah, he is a great modeller and he's quite quick at what he does.
Yeah.
When you consider the depth of detail. Dean
This is
Fielding
incredible.
says, good evening. Hello to you. Great to see you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Consider sharing to social media and subscribe if you've not already done so. And Gandalf?
The Monday Clubber is never
Yes.
late to the
I'll
wagons.
slide on in with that.
Nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Sarah Davis says she has a good way of weathering things. She just never cleans them.
Yes. Yes. These
Oh
are
my
really
goodness.
nice. Really, really nice. And,
You've got to stop sending in photos
yeah, he's
of the
cheating
real
with
thing and claiming that you've modelled it. It's not fair.
You're
It's not fair
cheating
on the
with your
rest of us.
DeLorean, taking your iPhone back. But all these people there go, so what is this iPhone thing you've
What?
got?
Why are you holding up a bit of plastic and pretending to make photos?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, weird stuff. So, witch, burn him!
No, he hasn't gone back that far.
Oh, okay. Oh, and there's a little it's class 22. The baby war. Is that the baby warship?
Charlie Chimp says, breaking news, the ice cream and milkshake machine is actually working at Congleton McDonald's tonight. That will be because they recently won a court case against the people that created their ice cream machines on a right to repair themselves instead of being stuck in a contract.
Yeah.
So they can actually make it work now,
Ooh.
which is very cool. I could do with...
I could go for a flurry, I must admit. Claude Hamilton says, I've pre-ordered an Accurascale Class 50 Elgar in GWR Green. On its way, apparently. Oh, are the 50s here? Oh.
Nice.
And yet Marcus Muggins, sadly, no Class 22s were preserved. One was nearly preserved, I believe. Unfortunately, it was paid for.
I remember this story, yeah.
They did a deal, paid for it, and in between ownership being transferred and them going to collect it, it got scrapped. And it shouldn't have been scrapped because it didn't belong to British Railways. And apparently they were so embarrassed, they gave them a Class 42 in fully working order and a load of spare parts for it, which technically should have cost them a lot more money because they were sold by the scrap value and the warship was a lot heavier. But because it was British Railway's fault, they gave them the alternative locomotive. So we ended up with 2 Class 42s preserved instead of 1, but we lost the Class 22. Which is a shame, really. And there was a class, it was either a 21 or a 29 at Barry Scrapyard into the early 80s, but it did eventually get scrapped.
Oh.
And Joshua W56 says, did you hear there's a project to build a new Class 22? I had heard of that, yes.
That is an amazing
that
shot.
is
That is
really,
just,
really good.
Oh, that is superb.
Absolute money shot there.
I could stare at these all day.
I would. I'd love to go and see his models in the flesh, but it probably would just get there and he'd just be having Biff put the final coat of wax on the DeLorean and be like, get in. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Where we're going, we don't need models.
Yes. Those warships are great. I do love the warships.
That is a nice looking one.
Yeah. I actually quite like the.
Blackburn says, "Who cares? They're only Western Reach."
RG Models 86 says, "Please say there were repercussions for those who scrapped a preserved loco." I have no idea, but I would have thought that words would have been had like you can't just gas axe whatever you feel like.
That woman with the Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah, what happened to
Galaxy 4.
it? Yeah.
Oh my god, there was repercussions with that.
It'd been they'd sold it, sold the rights to show it. When this woman had just determined to have it destroyed. I don't know what perverse benefit did
some people really like the idea of power.
Yeah. Well, so how powerful did she feel when she got fired?
I don't know.
So,
So next up we have a message from Anthony Nill.
Michael Sarsfield says, wax on, wax off, shine on, shine off. Get up to 88 and get back in time.
So we've got a message from Anthony Nill saying, I wanted to share my video of Sir Nigel Gresley at the NYMR on his first day 9 days ago. A bit more than 9 days ago now. This was 31st of March. We are behind schedule.
Hi there, Chris Duke. Zoe is RPG Online. Sorry, my use of shortened words is quite, I don't recognise many or use them either.
Don't
RPG
worry. She's talking about the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game that I've restarted on Fridays on the Game Hammer channel.
Right.
You're all welcome to come along and see the absolute travesty of what we're doing to Star Trek. Oh, it's ridiculous. We've got a doctor who's an elite hacker, a guy who's now the first officer whose response to everything is to nuke it, a guy who...
Well, yeah, you've got to take off and nuke it from orbit, because it's the only way to be certain.
A guy who's a Sung-type android, but who acts more like a synth from Alien.
Okay.
You know, the A-mob will keep for the company, that kind of guy. It's brilliant. We're having a hell of a time. So we've got this from Anthony Nill of Sir Nigel Gresley at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway.
Okay.
So if you're pressing the buttons, he's...
hit the lever! So there we are. I always loved these little Hornby layouts in the thing. So there we are. Ooh.
Confirm your destination.
Pickering. You don't want to show where you've gone from.
Why not?
78 miles. You might want to... Oh, there we go. There we go.
I was just adding the link into the chat. So...
This is the bit of the North Yorkshire Moors Railway where we didn't really get to see much of, but it's nice to see the turntable
stuff. Yeah, working turntable, nice.
Well, this is at Pickering, and we did see this, yeah, with the new roof. The new roof was really, really good, actually. They did a great job on that.
W.H. Smith and Son. Wow, that's old. That little kiosk.
This is nice.
The animation on these guys is amazing.
Oh, stop it! Otherwise, I'll make you drink I'll make you drink this horrible
Here
water.
comes Sir Nigel.
Beep beep
Beep,
beep beep.
No.
Presumably, they're not allowed to put their foot down and really blast some soot into the roof when they come in.
No, they're probably not allowed to put their foot down when coming into through a station, Jen.
Yeah, no, but then it'll run round at the end when it's coming back
Look
through.
how shiny it is.
Shiny, shiny, shiny.
Sarah Davis says that A4 doesn't look very realistic.
Oh, stop it!
Ah,
I've actually got it in that livery.
Yeah.
I've got it up there. I've got it in the blue. It's really nice. I do like the BR experimental blue. But it's really lovely to see.
there's a lot of 007s tonight. The name's Gresley. Sir Nigel Gresley.
And yeah, RG Models 86. I love BR Express Blue. Absolutely.
Oh, look at all that steam!
You notice that they pull it forward just far enough that the chimney's outside of the roof.
Yes.
They must have
Almost
a
like
procedure.
they know what they're doing.
Oh yes, almost like they've done this before. It is lovely. It's just the problem we're getting is that steam locomotives now are getting really old, and you're trying to keep what is effectively a life expired piece of machinery, keeping it working.
Well, that's retro for you, isn't it? Trying to
Why
keep
did you
things
just
working.
suddenly? Oh right, it sort of stopped for
I
a
had to
bit.
park and make sure.
Ah, I think he was checking something. I don't know.
Here we go.
Of course, the railway used to head on down to, I think it was Malton. So once upon a time, the railway just kept going. It's a real shame that that they're not able to or inclined to restore the full through route. Unfortunately, getting through Pickering would be a huge monumental task.
Leslie Gilpin says it was Malton to Whitby. Or is that for... have I jumped in at a different conversation?
No, the full line was Malton to eventually Whitby, but the North Yorkshire Moors Railway
Here it comes.
only preserved the section from Pickering up to where it joined the line that was
You
kept
know,
to Whitby.
people keep... That old stereotype that won't die, unfortunately, of, all these people are so sad and no one's interested in blah, blah, blah. Look how many people are there just to see this.
Yeah.
It's hundreds.
I'd be honest, it disgusts me, the people who try and make hay by claiming, oh, the hobby's dying, watch my video about this. And it's like, no, come on, behave yourself. You're just a leech on the hobby.
It's not even that.
The hobby is doing well.
Yeah, it absolutely is, but I'm talking about in real life. 100 people there, I bet, if not more, to see that one.
Oh, yeah, and I bet, the bums on all the seats.
Oh, absolutely. I'd have got on it. And I know you would have as well.
Yeah.
You might be able to get you back off.
I do remember this station as well.
Yeah, Joshua W56, absolutely. Hate these people who try to scare people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're clickbaiters. And, to be honest, you shouldn't be helping out clickbaiters by watching their crap.
Not just that, but the way I see it is, the more people say things like that, the more likely someone is to think it's true.
Yeah, the more likely somebody is to believe that nonsense.
And at which point they don't get involved because they think, oh, well, it's not worth joining
Martin
in
Shipman says, night all, time for a cuppa and some toast. Toast. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I thought they'd extended into Whitby again. Yeah, they've... Pickering to Malton is the other way. That's going southwards.
Sarah Davis has a very interesting question there. With the A4 going in reverse, it's obviously not as aerodynamic. So logically, does that mean return trips would take a bit longer?
Yeah, but they're not going that fast. I think they only do 25 miles an hour anyway. It just wouldn't matter.
Raymond Legg says, I've never been caught clickbaiting. Is that because you don't do it, or you've just never been caught?
Joshua W56 says, I hate these people that try to scare me like that. Yeah, and it's like, there was that period when Hatton's closed down and Wally clubs.
BBC was coming in on it,
and it was like all the people who jumped on that bandwagon going, oh, it's a death of the hobby, and it's like, no, it's not. Stop leeching off our hobby. It's never been more healthy.
Absolutely. Right, guys, we're coming up to 5 to 9 now.
Are we? Flipping heck.
So I'm going to say thank you so much for sending this in and for hanging out with us. We're going to jump to a message from our sponsors now, and then we're going to
We'll be right back after these messages. The Monday Club is proudly sponsored by TMC, the Model Centre. Check them out at themodelcentre.com. The website features extensive stocks of new models as well as selective pre-owned items where you can track down that bargain you've always wanted. Pre-order with confidence all of the forthcoming models from all the manufacturers. TMC also offer a renumbering and renaming service so you can get the exact identity of locomotive that you want. Why not also check out their value weathering or go for something incredibly special with their bespoke service where you can choose from a more extensive weathered look right through to custom graffiti either off the peg or to a design of your choice. Check out TMC today at themodelcentre.com and start your model journey. So there we are. Big thank you to TMC for helping us keep the lights on. It's been really hot actually tonight, but we've had our big fans going. So you've probably seen a little bit of, well, you've heard a little bit of the fans going. We've got the extractor fan and a couple of others down here. It's not been as bad as I thought it would, but what have you got coming up
Well,
on
I've got to
Game
go-
Hammer Classic
I've got to
Gaming.
rush off and turn the computer on in a second, but
Mhm.
before I do that, we've got a request for Jaws Unleashed tonight on PlayStation 2.
Uh-huh.
I've had a request for the Bible game on PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
which, by the way, sounds like it's going to be an awfully religious game.
Sounds like
And it's-
something that Ned Flanders would let his kids play.
And is actually an interesting quiz show.
Yeah.
And I've had a request for Nightmare on the Amiga.
Oh, can you? So does that mean you set up the Amiga?
I'll plug it in the cables and see if it works all right.
Do you have it on floppy?
Yes, I do.
Excellente.
So, that should be fun. And if you hang around, guys, you'll be able to pop over automatically.
Absolutely. You'll get a prompt. Just click the button, and you'll find yourself with your live streaming goodness continuing with all retro, all request, all Monday with the Cupboard Monkey.
Sarah Davis, yes, Nightmare is something to do with the CITV show. Yes, it is. So I'll be back in a moment. But
Richard
at the moment,
Knowles
we'll rush
says,
off.
is there a Father Ted version of the Bible game? It was just resting in the account.
All the points were just resting in my account.
Yes. So tell me, are we supposed to be racist now?
That's the only good joke from the show. That was hilarious.
Yeah. It's just a shame that Graham Linehan is a
He's
colossal...
such a weird guy.
Yeah, could you get rid of this?
I could.
Basically, it'll just have to go in the bin. 3B Rail, many thanks again, Jenny and Zoe. Another great stream. Have a great week. You too. Rubster's Trains and Travels has been a good stream. Thank you so much. The Growler Blackwood Engage Layout says night, everyone. JTG Werewolf says good night, everyone. And Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. I love my brick. Yeah, Sarah Davis. He's only one of the right. And sometimes despicable people can produce great things. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does happen. Has been brilliant this evening, says Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. Thank you so much. And of course, Ham Shackleton as well shared the links for the Monday Club badges and the Monday Club wagons. Now, we're going to be ordering up the next Monday Club wagon end of next...
write a giant check.
Oh, yeah, what for?
For the wagons.
Oh, yeah, but you pay a deposit first, and then when it's delivered, you pay the rest.
Still a giant
but
check
we're going to
for a
be
deposit.
we're going to be ordering the next wagon now. At this stage, we are ordering the 00 gauge one. We might look into a Kickstarter for N gauge and TT120. But what we say is, if it doesn't reach the required amount, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So we need to look into that. Basically, TT120, it would be with Pico. So we need to make some inquiries on that, work out the costings and how many, and then work out the design. But I would say before, if people don't commit to it, it can't happen because...
we just can't afford to be sat on them for years.
We've got a lot of money tied up with the wreck tanks, and unfortunately, I think the Daypole wagons haven't really appealed to a lot of people.
To be honest with you, I think we've hit on just the wrong point.
Yeah, and there's also an element as well that when we started doing the Monday Club wagons, we were the only people doing, the only YouTubers doing that. But there's now a lot more people doing it, and
I can't blame them for it.
It's not a bad thing.
Absolutely not. I like them. The
it's-
more the merrier, to be honest. But
Absolutely.
it does mean that the market's a bit flooded.
Absolutely. Ryan at Northeastern Railway Models. Good night, all. Thanks for another great stream, Sarah and Jenny.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So there we are. Anyway, the Cupboard Monkey. Have you turned your computer
I'm
on?
about to log in and make sure it's all
Okay.
right.
So the Cupboard Monkey is going to be setting up, and then it's just got time for me to say goodbye then. But until then, brilliant. PN Motorsport Train says my Monday Club wagon arrived last week. As far as we know, all we can tell is that there's at least 11 left when it says 10 plus. The O gauge ones, I think, we're down to 4. It's okay. The O gauge ones I really like. It's a really high quality wagon. The wreck tank, well, People asked for a tanker, so we did that. That was what we came up with. With hindsight, yeah, maybe we should have done something else. But you know, hindsight's always 20/20. But looking forward is just always quite fuzzy. The next wagon's going to be a ventilated wagon in 00 gauge, and we're trying to make it so it will appeal to more modern image modelers as well as, you know, people maybe BR Steam. So we're going for a departmental wagon, one that would be perfect to tuck at the end of a siding in a depot, as well as maybe run it in an engineer's train. So we're going for something hopefully quite wide-ranging. So watch this space. We can't announce it yet because the base model that it's going onto hasn't been officially announced yet. But in the meantime, you can still pick up your wreck tank. I've actually used the body off one as an oil tank on the new Minith Tatus Newith build. Don't forget to check those out. We've got a Minith Tatus Newith video coming on Friday this week, so you can. It's really looking great. I looked over Zoe's shoulder, saw how that was coming along, and
she
really
didn't cry, which is amazing.
It's starting to look like a proper model again. So if you haven't seen the one where we deal with the rocks, now a lot of people were asking me about how to make rocks. We've got a good video on that in the Minith Tatus build video. So that's number 2 in the series. Do check that out. But number 3 is coming on Friday next week as well. Finally doing the review of the Hellion Class 11. So look out for that. What are you doing?
I'm just going to grab the link for the rocks video.
Oh yeah, we'll do that. And of course, as always, hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Do check us out over on Patreon. Check out the merch. You know, the usual stuff. So we're just grabbing that link, and we're going to put that into the chat. I'm not convinced that YouTube has actually told people about this, but we've now reached that point of the night where we've just got time to say, you guys take great care. If you're moving on over to Gamehammer Classic Gaming, just stay put, you'll get the prompt. But for the rest of you, I know it is a school night, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling, bye for now.
The train now departing is the 2103 service to Gamehammer Classic Gaming, stopping at Minith Tatus Newith. Where else are we going? Hang on, I've forgotten my sheet. Oh yes, Bolton Trinity Road. Packham on the back. Puckleton on the hill. Butzfarting. Eindhoven. Pittsburgh somehow. That unnamed lad that Jenny said had a name and then turned out it didn't have a name. All change in 3 cocks for Lord Hereford's Knob. And then on to Gamehammer Classic Gaming. That's the 2103 service to Gamehammer Classic Gaming. If you go up to the loft today, it's sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night. I'm off.
Okay, no worries. So, ta-ta for now, says Harp House, halt.
TTFN.
TTFN. Great to
ABCD.
Greasy Rail says, evening all, Genzo in chat. Oh, late comer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
The Monday Clubber is never late to the wagons, nor are they early. They arrive precisely when they mean to.
thanks, Gandalf. So, Gandalf is now leaving the building. Andy Fry's Junction.
Left the building.
Absolutely. So, Gandalf is going downstairs to enjoy some biscuits. Unfortunately, Valley's 56XX. The answer was not. Well, we did go day poll for the last 2 Monday Club wagons, the O gauge and the 00, and they just haven't sold as well as we'd like. So anybody's looking to commission wagons, do keep that in mind. I think as well, the slightly older tooling maybe doesn't appeal. It's very difficult to say. I think it's very complex, but you know, we do this so you don't have to. But the next one's going to be a ventilated fan. It's going to be a departmental ventilated fan suitable for a really wide period. So anybody who does more modern image modelling, it's a great addition to put at the end of a siding in a depot, or indeed trundle along in an engineer's train. So do look out for it. We're going to be finalising the details on that with the manufacturer at the end of June. And we'll try and put together some Kickstarters for TT120 and N-Gauge. Richard Gridger says, more cake. Oh, I could get behind cake. Right, I put the plaster away before I accidentally drop it and look like I've got a kilo of Colombian Pure blowing in the wind. Let's get that squeaky wheel up and running now. So you'll get a bit of squeaking, but I don't know which wagon is doing the squeak. Right, I'm just going to go and check and see if Game Hammer Classic... Oh, okay. Apparently Game Hammer Classic Gaming is not quite ready for you yet, so we'll just enjoy some trains running on Weir Yard for the time being. What?
Yeah.
What are you on about?
I was bringing you a cork and then I slipped and I dropped both of mine on the floor.
Oh, they haven't burst, have they?
They haven't burst. But I won't reopen them for a few minutes.
The cupboard monkey just dropped a can of Coke. It's suspiciously hard at the moment. Good night, Welsh frogs. I'm sorry you come in at the end, but of course you can catch up with all of the stream. It becomes a regular video. Ilmson TT, good night to you as well. JL Railway says, night Jenny, have a good week. See you next week. Absolutely, as always. Flymo Chairman 1 says, hit the like lever. Pull the like button. Well, close enough. Whatever was squeaking appears to have stopped. Oh no, it's kicked back in now. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Yeah, that as well. Frustrated 8, night to you as well. It's always great to have your company. SHGP Media as well. I know people are starting to drift off, but for those of you waiting for Game App, oh, I think let me just double check, but I think that's Game Hammer. So, just got time for me to say thank you all for coming. Do please, if you haven't already done so, hit the like and subscribe. You know all the usual stuff. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you guys take great care of yourself. And it's the fly, Jenny says. It's a fly back. Oh, bloody hell. I haven't seen it. Look, you guys take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.